Let's talk about ghosting. No one talks about ghosting. Ghosting happens to everybody. But we need to start to understand why this happens. And it depends on who is ghosting you, and the frequency of ghosting, and lots of other things. Anyway, let's talk about ghosting. So, if you get all the way through and you actually talk to directly to the company and you get into second interview and third interview and whatever it is, and then you get ghosted, that is a terrible, terrible company. And you are very, very fortunate because you have learned early, without wasting days, weeks, months, years of your life on this company, what they really value, what they're really like. You don't want to work there. And look at you, you found out. Boom. Awesome. And it's terrible that they ghost, but if I were you, I would heed the warning. So that's one side of it. But for the most part, people are being ghosted by recruiters, whether they're internal or they're agency recruiters, but they're being ghosted at that early stage. And then what most people do is they take to social media to complain about it. Maybe don't mention the company, but they complain about ghosting, and it's quite widespread. Now, this doesn't help your LinkedIn profile for a start, and displaying that level of negativity doesn't help. Even though the thing that was done to you is the terrible thing, if you moan about it, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt anybody else. But what can we do? I mean, firstly, there's nothing you can do to really correct it. You can send a message. Don't bombard them. The more you bombard them, the less they're ever going to come back to you at all. But you can send a follow-up message. But what I would encourage you to do, and the reason for this video, is I want you to think about what you can do about you, not about them. We can't change them. That's the other side of the fence. So what has actually happened? So as I've been stating through this course, and hopefully it's starting to sink in, is that recruitment really is a speed game. And as a developer who became a recruiter, I obviously wanted to do the best job and find the best developer, because I'm a developer. I want to work for developers, right? And so I had this purist idea about how it happens, and you'd be off trying to find the best developer, and eventually I come back and go, I found the person, fits the job description perfectly, great guy, great girl, whatever, perfect. And they go, yeah, that job closed like 2 weeks ago. A waste of time. You're not getting paid, or and you're fired. And that's the way this works. So recruitment is a speed game. Recruiters are trying to get a good enough developer in front of their client as quickly as possible. Why? Because their competitors are going to try to do the same. And what they do is they flood that client's calendar with interviews with their candidates, and whoever floods the calendar, whoever gets all their candidates seen and they pick one, they get paid. So that's what this is about. So we do need to find a developer who can do the job, but we need to find somebody as quickly as possible. And that's the real game here, is how can you make this happen quickly. So when someone looks at your profile, they're scanning through it, and this is what a lot of the LinkedIn videos are about. They're scanning through it in 10 to 15 seconds and trying to make a decision about whether it's worth spending more time. And if it's not, they leave. Now, maybe they might ask you a question. Maybe you'll get that first interview, and then they'll chat to you. And what they're probably doing, because most developer profiles suck, is they're trying to clarify, trying to understand your profile to see if you're going to be top of the list to go forward. So then what they do, the ones that look best, they prioritize those. The ones that answer the questions best, the ones that give them the most confidence by providing the most evidence and support of all this, the claims they're making, they get interviewed first. And they go, we'll just leave you there. I'm not going to reject you just yet. A little bit of ghosting happens at this stage. And they say, we'll leave you there, and they see how these interviews go. Now, what commonly happens is they'll interview the first person, and the client will come back and say, okay, they're good, but we'd like to see more of this skill or this skill, in which case they might pull some of these other candidates away and go, we'll go back to this stack of applications and put other people forward who match the newer, more refreshed, more refined requirements. So that's why they don't reject you at this stage. They keep you holding. They say the client's gone quiet, someone's on holiday, they're making a decision. They're interviewing people who look better first, and then they come back and they do this. So they keep flooding this calendar, keep reacting to the new requirements, because these requirements change over time, and then hopefully they get a win. Now, if they don't come back to you, what can you do about it? Besides chasing it up and saying, "Hey, can you give me some update?" Feedback. You would like them to give you feedback, but if it's really early stage and the amount of people, the volume of candidates going forward is so high, they probably haven't got time to give constructive quality feedback to everybody, sadly. So what does it mean when they ghost you? It means your profile and or what you said to them in that first interview when you spoke to them did not provide enough evidence to give the person enough confidence for them to put you forward to either their client or their boss or to the next stage of the interview. So there is something lacking on your profile or your description of your profile. So if you get forward to the interview, there's enough of a suggestion that you can do the job, but maybe you didn't back that up when you got there. Maybe you didn't explain it well enough. The vast majority of developers get rejected and get ghosted at that early stage. You don't even get an interview, and that means your profile doesn't deliver enough confidence. It doesn't show people that you're not only a good developer, that you're targeted, you're focused, you're passionate, enthusiastic, and most importantly proactive about living and breathing this thing that you're supposed to be wanting to do. So if you're getting ghosted at that first stage, if you're not getting any interviews, it means that your profile's not delivering. So we can't change the other person, but we can change our profile. And if you go back and watch the LinkedIn videos, this should only take you about 20 or 30 minutes, and you should have a profile which is very clear, concise, and indicative of the job you want and the tech stack that you want to use. So let's not take to social media and complain about being ghosted. Let's think, what can I do, and go from there. Hope that helps. See you in the next one.